And we're back for what could be our final match of the night. Alliance and Fnatic in a win or go home match here in the lower bracket semi-finals. Fnatic continues to struggle, and Alliance certainly did roll in game one. Took them about 20 minutes. I mean, there was the moral victory, and I don't know that I've ever been shouted over from that distance, but they really wanted to kill Ake, and they got it done. And sometimes you gotta take what you can get. But what they didn't get was a win, and now Alliance is just one win away from shutting the door and beginning their long climb back towards the grand finals as they'll meet the loser of LGD China and Vici Gaming to lead things off tomorrow. So Fnatic again, storyline's kind of been beaten to death. They're missing 2 of their core 5. Really, Demon and AUI, it's not like they've been terrible. They're amazing players in their own right. They have not been able to find that chemistry that is necessary to compete against a team like Alliance on this stage. Even when their drafts have been good, they just haven't been able to gel.
Fnatic's turn to ban.
I was about to make a joke about Demon, but I refrained.
I'm good, man.
Anyways, Alchemist we haven't seen yet in this entire tournament, and he's been first banned, I think, every single time except this time, and this time he got first pick, but for good reason. Alchemist is a ridiculously flexible hero. He can be solo mid, he's good anti-push, he's even decent at pushing because he can zone the opponent out, and he can carry, he can support, he can just do everything.
Yep.
And Unstable Concoction is OP.
Oh yeah, Unstable Concoction is ridiculously good, especially in conjunction with a hero like a Crystal Maiden. And I agree with you entirely. I mean, the hero himself, it's gotten to a point where you see him drafted. It used to be, well, you knew he'd be in the carry position or you knew maybe he'd be mid. Now you just genuinely have no idea.
Yeah, you have no clue what he's going to be.
Yeah, you just don't have any idea. He can even just be a guy who goes mid and says, okay, I'll be mid for, I don't know, 8 minutes, and then I'll build a mech, and then we can put whoever we need there, and we can start to roam the map as a support, with supports, with a Chen, for example. And but yeah, Fnatic going to grab that up with the Crystal Maiden. Alliance grabbing the Visage and the Dragon Knight. And we've seen a lot of success with the Dragon Knight for the most part. Demon obviously in game 1 of this series struggling just a bit, but the hero himself has shown a remarkable amount of winning percentage so far throughout the D2L.
Alchemist is just, he works well minus armor strategies too. Fnatic may go for something like that. Alliance going for the Dragon Knight for themselves as well as the Visage. Wisp has been banned out by Alliance because Fnatic has first pick, and they don't want to give a Wisp Tiny away to Fnatic, which they run very, very well. I'm surprised that they didn't utilize it earlier today when they had the Wisp pick open to them.
Bans now done. There'll be no Chen or OD joining us courtesy of Alliance, with Timbersaw and Pugna being taken out by Fnatic. And right now, options available really to both teams. Whenever you have a Visage and a Dragon Knight on the same team, certainly push lineups are going to be the order of the day. Both heroes excellent in that role. Or you could just grab a Lifestealer and say, you know what, we're running a 2-core plus a glass cannon kind of a damage dealer in Visage. And when you talk about spam damage, just, be it AoE or be it single target in the case of Visage, Breathe Fire plus the plus Soul Assumption, you can just utterly destroy 100-0 a Crystal Maiden if she's even a little underleveled.
I'm surprised a lot of the heroes that used to be popular just aren't popular at all anymore. I think Priestess of the Moon, I think, is still a very good hero. If she's drafted into the right sort of lineup, Moonlight Shadow is just amazingly good. It's pretty much like a smoke on like every minute. It's somewhat limited, but it's still a very good spell. What else? I think that I had a couple. Gyrocopter, I think, is still pretty good too. I haven't seen him at all.
Elder Titan. Makes his way back in.
Alliance's turn to pick.
So, picking up the Elder Titan, I mean, you've got 2 heroes that feel fairly beefy, and one thing I like about this for Fnatic is Elder Titan has a surprising amount of anti-push whenever he's having to deal with, especially if it's a lineup, which it won't be, at least by all accounts, with the Enchantress and the Chen banned out. But even in situations where you're dealing with their creeps trying to swarm you, Ancestral Spirit not only does it give you bonus damage, but it does, once it's maxed, does a considerable amount of damage. Very difficult to push into an Earth Splitter reliably as well. Alliance at this point, though, depending on where they want to run that Dragon Knight, they want some kind of vehicle for the Lifestealer. Both Puck and Storm Spirit are available, but those heroes usually want mid, and that would be, by all accounts, where you could expect that Dragon Knight to go.
Fnatic just may very well gear up for a full minus armor strategy. I think they could even pick a Shadow Fiend and take advantage of Dragon's Knight's somewhat weak laning phase and just go with support Alchemist, go with the off-lane Elder Titan, and then just roll their way to victory with minus armor. And minus armor is very good versus Lifestealer too. Lifestealer is actually pretty susceptible to that.
Yeah, not the best in terms of armor or usually even wanting to build armor. I mean, obviously, an Assault Cuirass is an option many lifestealers will go for eventually, but for the most part, he is susceptible, as you mentioned. They will go ahead and grab some initiation / counter initiation in the Clockwork. Clockwork does a pretty decent job against an Alchemist and just gives them that reach that they need so desperately, and a very reliable vehicle for lifestealers.
And Admiral Bulldog plays them well.
Yep, exactly. Clock, one of the other heroes that Bulldog plays remarkably well on.
He played a very good Timber last game, too.
Yeah, he did. Wait, he was on a godlike streak at one point, wasn't he? He was
Reserve time.
9-1, something like that.
Yeah. And he had very fast Bloodstone.
5 seconds
very,
remaining.
very fast Bloodstone.
Death Prophet actually going to be the pickup from Fnatic. And we've seen some teams
turn to
flirt with
ban.
her, you know, over the weeks and the months since 6.79. But really, she seems, you know, I'll throw it to you as the analyst. I mean, sometimes you see a Death Prophet lineup like this have a resounding amount of success, and sometimes you just see it completely and utterly fail. What really is the separating factor in those two situations?
5 seconds
Is if you can keep her alive. If she dies, like, 5 seconds after using Ghost, it's a worthless pick, and it's a worthless hero. But she needs to be able to not get hit by Clockwork. Ultimate needs to be able to take down towers very early, and she is very reliant on those T1 tower gold. If you don't get those early, she becomes very, very useless because she can't put out any pressure. She needs to be able to survive. She needs to be able to spam Crypt Swarm multiple times, use that silence very effectively, yet still be close enough to deal damage with Exorcism. So it's a tricky hero to play positioning-wise. In terms of playing with your team, it's like slightly different. She like creates space but doesn't actually get that many solo kills, not like a Puck or a Queen of Pain. Right. And she also doesn't scale as well as items as those heroes, but at the same time, I still think she's very good.
Skywrath Mage going to be the final pickup for Alliance, and they're calling for it. You can hear them outside the stage. Will Fnatic deliver? Given their...
I mean, technically, Meepo's not bad at all versus this lineup, right?
No.
It will do well versus Dragon Knight. It does decently versus Lifestealer, not amazingly. He can kite him.
A lot of bursts, though. When you talk about Breathe Fire and Soul Assumption and Skywrath's Mage entire kit.
Please, he has 35% magic resist. That makes him invulnerable.
That makes him invulnerable, he says. The folks are clamoring for it. They're running out of time. 4, 3. Oh. You have disappointed the crowd, but haven't disappointed Ben, who actually called this pick out earlier in the draft. Shadow Fiend going to match up quite well with Alchemist's Acid Spray, Elder Titan's Natural Order, and, of course, his own Presence of the Dark Lord that'll provide a significant amount of armor reduction.
Yep, minus armor strategies are ridiculously good, but we saw one ran earlier today just fall flat. So it's... Shadow, their lanes are going to be a little bit weird, though, just because Death Prophet needs a lot of farm. I think it's going to be a safe lane Death Prophet, and, well, actually, we can see by who's playing what.
Speaking of
Demons mid, so.
Yeah, we'll run through the lineups. Rat quick, taking a look at Fnatic. It'll be Fly playing on our Crystal Maiden with No Tail handling our Alchemist, much to the dismay of the crowd. Elder Titan will be played by Trixie with AUI handling the Death Prophet as she does make her way into the safe lane, and Demon setting up shop on the Shadow Fiend here in mid. On the other side of the river, we've got S4 on the Dragon Knight. He's kind of trailing behind. Would imagine he'll wind up mid. Ake going to be playing the support Skywrath Mage, and No Tail tells you why. He enjoys his pub stomping a little too much. Loda going to be playing the Lifestealer with Visage handled by EGM, and of course Bulldog on the Clockwork Goblin.
Very nice movement from Admiral Bulldog already very early, placing this ward without it being scouted out by Fnatic. It's just so important for him to be able to at least get levels in the bottom lane. He might not be able to survive if they go on him, but if you can keep track of their positioning, you can always try and leech some experience. And I think that Shadow Fiend is much more suited to Demon's playstyle than a Dragon Knight. Agreed. I think he played Sword Spirit pretty well. That's kind of up his alley. He's more the flashy sort of Denny mid heroes. Not
high risk, high reward.
Dragon Knight, yep. He likes to call it high risk, low reward.
High risk, YOLO swag, I think is what most of us could describe it as.
Horn
Horn blows, and what could be our final game of the night now underway. Alliance seeking to 2-0 Fnatic and bounce them out of the D2L Grand Finals here in the lower bracket, but Fnatic, they don't want to go home without at least one game win, and they're going to try to snag it right here and right now. So as the lanes take shape, let's break them down a little bit. As anticipated, it'll be AUI on the safe lane Death Prophet. Going to have some support, and No Tail and Fly setting up shop in a very defensive trial lane. Demon matching wits with S4 mid. Shadow Fiend versus the Dragon Knight. Trixie is going to be taking the Elder Time into the off lane. Loda and EGM are there. That's 2 concerted slows with Ake there with another slow. This could be very, very, very dangerous for him if he is caught out at all.
Yep. Aki did go with a level 1 Arcane Bolt, so they won't be able to catch up with them. But he will be able to zone them out, though. Do you actually get damage from the Ancestral Spirit or Astral Spirit on illusions?
I don't know.
Plus 29.
Yeah.
It looks like that's a...
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe? That's a maybe.
Yeah, could be. Somebody look it up. Trixie, though, trying to soak what experience he can. Let's talk a bit about this mid matchup. I mean, early on, it's not going to be too problematic for S4, but Shadow Fiend, anytime you're in a one-on-one, especially melee versus range, the longer the Demon is able to sit and farm to gather souls to increase his damage through nothing but...
He only has 2 souls, though.
Right. But that will be changing, as we can see. And he's going to have the help of Aura as well, so he's actually going to be able to spam Shadow Rays very, very frequently.
Yep, S4, 7-2 compared to 3-1 for Demon, but Demon is catching up quite nicely, especially once he hits level 3. He is level 3 right now, and as you said, the Arcane Aura definitely helping him out in that regard. Trixie still sitting at 0 out of 200 experience, completely getting zoned out by Aki here, who is almost level 2 on his own. There's a smoke from No Tail and Fly. They want to kill S4. Demon does have full mana right now. They have to get that stun off, though. There it is. It's charging up.
Unstable Concoction, hoping that he'll be... a little too close. And S4.
S4 does a really good job of dodging ganks, though. Even when he played Storm Spirit last game, too, just phenomenal map awareness by him. And he's one of the most experienced mid players in that aspect, just not being able to die.
And not just, and you know, map awareness absolutely is a part of it. He just always knows where to position himself to increase his odds of surviving, even if he does miss a call, even if he does get caught.
Oh, they're going on Admiral Bulldog on bottom. The stun is being charged up by No Tail.
Creep Swarm does good damage and followed up with a unstable concoction, but with the creeps pushing out, unwilling to dive the tower, still doing what damage they can. Trixie is getting nothing done in that top lane. He's barely past.
They're going to dive No Tail, or dive Admiral Bulldog this next wave, I think. They're diving in right now.
No Tail moves in with the haste and gonna start going to work. Bulldog caught the Crypt Swarm and lost a little bit more health, but he will be able to salve himself up as No Tail drags the creep wave away. So even though they're being annoying, still not a whole lot of accomplishing much of anything. He's gonna move back in. Another unstable concoction charge catches him out in the woods, but with a point in the cogs, he's pretty
No Tail might die. Ooh, that was close. If he didn't redirect that last creep, last tower hit, he would have died. 19 HP left. EGM gets a slow on Trixie.
Trixie caught with the Grave Chill. There's the Arcane Bolt to follow it up, but damage is good. Range little out of the way for them now. And Trixie, again, continuing to struggle quite mightily. He's not even level 2 yet. Only 72 XP he's been able to gain out of this solo top lane.
Rock it on.
Demon doing very nicely in terms of CS now, 14-9 compared to 17-4 in S4. So in terms of raw creeps killed, he is on top, and he has max souls for level 2 Necromastery.
And we'll see. Loda obviously leading in CS as one would expect. He's a 24-10, doing quite a good job for himself. Beginning to see Fly move about a smidgen, and gonna try to get a stack on here if he can. In the meantime, we hear Demon go into town with the Shadow Raises, and now those souls are coming quick and fast. He's got 20 tucked away. He's already hitting for 92 damage at 4 minutes in. Bottom rune will be snagged up.
Radiant's middle tower
Admiral
is under
Bulldog may
attack.
find Fly out here alone.
And Fly comes and denies it. Prevents S4 from taking it, so bit inconvenient, but for the most part, not the biggest tragedy. Another very quiet early game. We're 4 minutes in and no kills.
Yep, experience lead slightly going in favor of Alliance, as is the gold lead, but very, very marginal. One first blood can turn everything around. Trixie actually gets engaged on top. Aki uses concussive shot, but no follow-up. There is a stun being charged up by No Tail in mid.
And they're going to take a run at him. That's a very near full charge. Shadow Ray's doing good damage, and S4 caught out by Fly. And Fnatic comes out firing this time around. Demon drawing first blood. And looks like that was actually
the Manor Pause.
Manor Pause.
They wouldn't have been able to get that kill if they had not had this Observer Ward. He actually casted an Unstable Concoction up the hill, too. So very important that they went before that Observer Ward went down, especially being nighttime and all.
Certainly the hero that you want to get it as well. Demon wants to get on a roll, wants to play like the
Trixie
Demon
on top.
likes to. At top, Trixie in some trouble. And you knew this was going to happen eventually. Just way too much burst, way too many slows. You just cannot be doing that if you're Trixie. Level 2.5 right now for him compared to
Dire's
Lifestealers
bottom
level
tower
5.
is under
EGM
attack.
already level 3 as well. And even Ake sitting at 3.5.
Admiral Bulldog's level 5, though. He is doing very well in this offlane, especially considering how many times No-Tail has wrapped around the tower and how many times they've been trying to kill him with unstable concoction.
And Rocket going for a ride. Yep, we see the immediate ping out. They know where Fly happens to be. But again, both teams seem kind of content to just take what's given. Not a whole lot of movement, not a whole lot of. I mean, we saw a nice gank in mid, but since then, still remaining kind of quiet. S4 though, now
Dire's
level
top
6.5,
tower is
might
under
be willing to
attack.
hook up with his teammates and make something happen.
Death Prophet is level 6 in case they want to push this bottom T1. It is still very, very healthy, though. 1,200 out of 1,300 HP, as well as a glyph to Alliance's command. So I don't think he'll be dropping anytime soon. There is a smoke coming out from Aki and EGM, level 3 on both of those supports. Demon would be in a little trouble, but he is actually clearing a triple stack right now. So it looks like Fly may be the hero that is ganked.
Yep. Dragon Tail, and will be blown up quite easily. So much burst.
That's so fortunate for Fnatic, though, that Crystal Maiden is the one dying instead of a Shadow Fiend.
We can see the Exorcism has been popped in bottom. No-Tail going to continue to try and chase down Bulldog. Gets off the unstable
Dire's
concoction.
bottom tower is
Bulldog
under
just
attack.
always able to get himself into a safe position. Now going to run forward. Use a little rocket spam. Tower quite low, about 350 HP. But continuing to just kind of suffer through it. Not quite in deny range, so going to have to continue to defend it at least a little bit longer.
Yep. In mid, we see Demon topping the CS board 48 and 16 compared to 33 and 5 from S4. So even though he was suffering in the early game, that is Shadow Fiend's weakest time, 1 through 4. And as soon as he got that just spam Braze over and over, he is just dominating CS chart right now. We see a smoke coming out from No-Tail and Fly, level 3 on Alchemist, level 3 on Crystal Maiden, looking for another kill on S4. There's a stun.
And S4 way out in no man's land, caught out. Shadow Races are there. And S4 got off the stun and a little bit of damage, but Demon improves himself. Oh, the rocket from downtown. Bulldog lobbing one out and coming up nothing but net. Manages to make it a 1-for-1 trade. Still the better exchange for Fnatic.
Yep, gold and experience graphs actually going in favor of Fnatic right now. And we haven't seen too much from Loda. He has actually not gone for Midas, instead just going for the phase drums build. And he will have the drums completed very, very shortly. Just about 30 gold until his Robe of the Magi. And then I expect them to get some sort of stuff accomplished around the map. Maybe killing Aoi, who's about to get his free tower on bottom with his second exorcism use.
And
Dire's
AUI,
bottom tower
up to his
has
own devices, able to bring down a tower. Fnatic feeling like a revitalized team. Once again, looking to get aggressive. Fly and No-Tail moving along the ridge near the...
They've burned through so many smokes.
They've been effective.
Admiral Bulldog is sitting there, though.
Let's see. Bulldog, level 7, has a hook. And here we go. S4 caught out. Demon's right there. Will hook in on top. They're still going to get S4. Bulldog, though, able to trap one in. He needs to get out now. Load up. Re-engaging in. Going to rage and finish off No-Tail. Demon, though, looking to right-click down. Oh, and he misses with the Shadow Rays by a whisker. And again, Bulldog dodging it. Loda going to spin the infest. Comes back out and flies awfully low. Mechanism, though, makes its appearance. And now EGM in some trouble, pursued out, and one more Shadow Rays from Demon. Gets the job done, and finally waking up on this hero, and as you mentioned, much more a high-risk Demon kind of a hero. Gets the job done. 1,700 gold in his inventory. Loda will rage through the unstable concoction, but again, feels like a brand new Fnatic team here in game 2.
Demon almost got the kill on Loda and Admiral Bulldog. If it wasn't for Admiral Bulldog's sick movements around that tree area and the quick infest from Lifestealer, Demon would have walked away with like a triple kill there. So that fight could have gone disastrously for Alliance there. And Death Prophet coming in with the back, although no Exorcism. If they had Exorcism, that would have been an easy T1 for them while they're waiting for S4 to revive. Aki trying to pick up some levels on top. He's gone for the 3-1-1 build, but he is still very poor. No Arcane Boots up on him. EGM also trying to farm level 6 solo on the bottom lane. They really do need level 6 on these heroes just for more burst. They aren't able to kill anyone very fast on Fnatic. Yeah, they killed Alchemist there, but he was taking down where he was like under the hook shot, and there was a Lifestealer beating on him. But as far as killing the other heroes like Shadow Fiend, it's still going to be very difficult for him. Shadow Fiend actually is gone for a split build. He did get the Ogre Club at first, but has switched to a Helmet Dominator.
Loda able to rage through the Unstable Concoction, and a good thing. He took a lot of damage there. It could have been in some big trouble. Demon, in the meantime, as you mentioned, almost level 11 now. And going with the Helm of the Dawn plus the Ogre Club, most likely on his way to a BKB. S4 is going to catch him with the Dragon Tail. Bulldog lining up the hook, will find it, but helps there. Bulldog biting off more than he can chew. Will end up traded away, and Demon going one-on-one. No, stomped and killed. No Tail tosses out the Unstable Concoction. They're looking to follow it up. Trixie able to cut off the retreat, and that's a 2-for-1 trade. Fnatic continuing to trade well. And take a look at the gold. Fnatic in the lead by about 2,500, and the experience in their favor as well.
Yep. Now Exorcism, this is an easy T1. And Alliance, they're... Ooh, Aki actually takes an Unstable Concoction, but he's way far back at the T2, and it should be easy retreat for them. But, I mean, every time they have Exorcism, they can take the tower now.
Is under attack.
The top, Loda continuing to farm away. Drums phase are up.
Dire's middle tower
trying to
has
put
fallen.
what pressure on he can. However, the tier 1 crumbles long before he could do much of anything.
Yeah, usually Shadow Fiend or Lifestealer can just man up on a hero like Shadow Fiend. But considering Demon's farm right now, he can just right-click him back, and Loda will not be able to kill him unless he has some backup. No Tail coming to protect Demon in case he gets dove, but very unlikely that that's going to happen. Loda and the rest of Alliance just playing a little bit passively right now, just looking for good opportunities. They don't want to fight and get stunned out by Alchemist into a Requiem, into Exorcism. There's just so much damage flying out from so many different sources on Fnatic that they're all just having trouble staying alive, especially without a mech.
And Demon taking Ancients now. Needs to be careful.
It's a big stack.
Beginning to pressure around. Bulldog and Ake are under cover of smoke, and they're looking for targets in mid. Fly, the one left behind the most. And don't know that they want to spin this on them if they can help it. They're actually going to go ahead and pull back, actually. And Bulldog and Ake not taking the easy bait. EGM and S4 continuing to hold down mid lane while Loda just continues to farm away. But 12.5 minutes in, and this is the best showing Fnatic's had all day.
And Owie.
Blown up. Gotta love the Skywrath Mage
bottom
ulti.
tower is under attack.
Yeah, especially someone trapped in a cog. That's just so much damage coming out, though. 600 damage on a level 1 ultimate is insane, if you can actually connect with everything.
The phrase fish in a barrel comes to mind whenever you have a Clockwork and a Skywrath Mage, both on the same team. 6-6, all knotted up in kills, but again, the gold leads significantly in favor of Fnatic. The experience, though, has come back down near 0. Trixie could be in trouble. S4 spotted him. Loda was there as well. But No Tail gonna have to pull back and get some egg on his face. That's a lot of damage done to him. Just 6.5, roughly level 7. But at this point, I feel like Fnatic's done enough work with this lineup. There definitely does come a day when Death Prophet begins to feel herself slide off. Is this where they need to be, or do you think they need to be even more active?
I think they need to be a little bit more further ahead right now. Alliance can still kill Shadow Fiend and or Death Prophet very, very early in the fight. Those are the two important heroes. Those are the heroes you want to stay alive for as long as possible to do that, to do as much damage as possible. But Hookshot into Skywrath Ult and a Breathe Fire or Soul Assumption will just immediately spell the death of one of those two heroes, especially without a BKB up on Shadow Fiend. So I think once they get a BKB on Shadow Fiend, which is going to come pretty quickly because he's just been taking out triple stacks left and right. First this camp, and then the Ancient stack with the help of Access, and now this camp. He is just immensely farmed. 111 CS. He has 3,000 net worth above the Lifestealer.
S4 caught in mid. He's got some help behind him, but he will end up dropping nonetheless. A lot of damage done, but still no bodies on the ground. Fnatic takes another free one and continues to control the pace of this early game. 1,800 gold in Loda's inventory. Item's going to be coming for him, but a big item out on Demon, who has been the dominating factor in this game so far, sitting at 4-1 with 111 CS at just 14.5 minutes in. He has a BKB, a Helm of the Dominator, and a double damage rune bottled up.
I'm surprised more people don't pick Shadow Fiend versus Dragon Knight. If Dragon Knight is as popular and as I suspect, given from the picks in this tournament, and picked as early as he is, just pick Shadow Fiend. He just does insanely well versus them. He has plenty of right click to go through Dragon's Blood. He has plenty of magic damage to go through Dragon's Blood too, and he can just completely take advantage of Dragon Knight's weak early laning phase. And yeah, granted there was a lot of help from No Tail and Fly, but still, it's just generally works out pretty well.
S4 pops his ulti. He's going to be caught with an unstable concoction. Demon pops the BKB and goes to work. S4 has to run, barely makes it away. Load up, infesting into a creep and coming back out. Right into a Demon ulti, but hooked by Admiral Bulldog. There's the cogs. Do they have the damage? Breathe fire from distance, not enough. Demon continues to control this game. Trixie chasing down EGM. No-Tail once again stuns himself. There's the Frostbite, and EGM going to end up dropping as well. Elder Titan takes that, but make no mistake, all of this punching power, 282 right-click damage with that double damage rune for Demon. He is going bonkers.
Fnatic just rolled that fight on the back of Demon with a BKB and a TD and a Helmet Dominator. There's no way they can kill him during a BKB. And Lifesteal just got trucked, especially not having any armor. He went for a drones build. You really need an armlet for that +5 armor, or else you're just going to get bursted down during rage. He only has 5 armor, so he's sitting at negative armor once President of the Dark Lord is maxed. And here's another triple stack. Fnatic has just been doing a fantastic job of making sure Demon shines. First putting those at reward, then with the 3 smoke ganks mid, and then now with a constant stacking of the neutrals and the ancients. They just made sure he could thrive.
Definitely a Demon hero. And he's showing us why. He's got 2,000 gold already to go with his already considerably stacked inventory to just be 16.5 minutes into this game. And we're talking 5-digit territory, my friend. Again, like a brand new team, Bulldog gonna point blank right in the no-tail. Easy kill. Fly, throws out the Nova, but able to retreat to safety. And Ake right now sitting at level 9, Bulldog at level 9 as well. Both of these heroes I feel really need level 11 desperately.
Yeah, they also just have not been killing Shadow Fiend though. They killed him once, but when they did get that kill, they traded 2 for 1. I believe Admiral Bulldog as well as S4 died in that fight too. So that's not really a good trade. They needed to use more Infest Bombs in the early game to keep Demon down. And Demon has just been out of control. He has a Chrysalis already too, and they are ready to kill S4.
S4 able to get away from the damage there, bottles himself back up. AUI's picked up the Rod of Ali, also known as the Rod of Atos. And very interesting pickup there, tanks him up, gives him a slow. And they're spoiling for a fight right now, just trying to pick a fight with Alliance. They're even got to bypass the tier 2.
Middle tower
They
is
just want to go ahead and just
that was
basically.
a slightly premature exorcism. They needed it for this T2.
They're just kind of thumping their chest
is
right
under attack.
and doing a very
Radiant's
effective job
top tower is under
Alliance
attack.
feels like they're in a bit of disarray.
Yep. Well, they are trying to get farm up on Lifesteal, but he really needs a Basher as well as an Armlet if he wants to compete with Shadow Fiend at this point. Because even though he has the armor, he still can't one-on-one Demon just because of how farmed he is right now with the BKB, with the Chrysalis. He just can't out-damage him and kill him during the BKB. He needs a Basher so he can lock him down during the BKB, and looks like Agi is going to take a spill.
Yep, cleaned up. Effective smoke gank coming out of Fnatic. Now Roshan. Poor Roche, not going to have a whole lot of armor. Negative 16 armor on Roshan. This is going to be a very fast Aegis, and absolutely very little Alliance can do about it. They can do some damage from the high ground. They're going to move in with the, they got it with the Familiars, and Alchemist does manage to pick it up, so doubt that's who they wanted to take it.
They were scared of the hook shot.
Yep.
So Shadow Fiend loses his bottle. Oh, no, it actually traded off to someone, so he still has his bottle, but no Aegis. I still don't think he's going to die, though. He only has 1,300 HP with Strength Shreds, but he feels pretty invulnerable right now, especially with the mech there to back him up, with all the minus armor. They're all going to die before they're able to kill him. He still has 9 seconds on his BKB and another Ancient stack.
Hitting like an absolute freight train. Short of 20 minutes, he's already doing around 230 damage with crit. And this is just going to be a bit much for Alliance to have to handle. And really, you know, you can talk about how well Demon's doing, and that's a huge part of it. I feel like Fnatic's outmaneuvered Alliance as well. Here we go. S4 going to charge in, goes right after Trixie, and they try to blow him up. Force Staff, though, gets him out of most of that damage. There's a hook coming in from the backside. In the meantime, Aki cleaned up. Admiral Bulldog tried to catch Fly. Will need a little help from EGM, but they do get the kill. In the meantime, No-Tail and Trixie continuing to search around. And here we go. Bulldog got
nice
the cogs
cog
down first. Demon trying to chew through him. And they're trying to chase them down from behind. But yeah, they're just going to go ahead and reverse pace and come back to the tier 2. Why not? AUI has his ulti up.
And he has Trickle Boots too. Oh.
There's the Atos used on S4. And he's going to end up dropping because of it. This is going to be a tier 2 down.
They can pressure to tier 3 too. They still have a fair amount of time left on Exorcism, not even halfway used yet. And S4 is down for another 30 seconds time. Loda's still farming away on top, but I think they can get a little bit of damage on that. Demon will have his Daedalus completed very, very soon too.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Demon Dota rearing its head. He's 5-1-6 with 161 CS. His net worth as we cross the 20-minute threshold is just about double that of Loda's. Loda has been basically camping a top lane and farming all game. And really, Demon, well, he's been farming heroes is kind of the way it feels.
Yeah, I think that Loda maybe should have gotten a Midas if he's going to play the way he's been playing. He's 1-1-1. I mean, he's been trying to contribute to fights, but just hasn't been able to do that much just because Demon has been just trouncing on the team. So I think that Alliance could have just avoided fights until Lifestealer has been like almost equal in farm. Compared to Shadow Fiend, or they could have like smoke ganked the Ancients or the stacks that he's been constantly taking out. There is an infest inside of Admiral Bulldog, but he's going to have to deal with 3 heroes.
Here we go, jumping on Trixie. Trixie knocked away from him. Bulldog showing off the Blade Mail for the first time. He and Loda able to lock one down. No Tail's going to rush around the corner, though. He knows he's got help on the way, and there's the Rod of Atos on Loda. Loda trying to make a run for it, has Rage up in 1 second. He's going to have to time it right, and he does. Just off of cooldown, still might not be enough.
He's going to get Atos and die to death by Atos.
Yep, there it is. And they chase him down, and AUI showing off an item he loves, getting the job done with it, and they're going to get back in time to keep this tower up. S4 caught out on top, and there is a Centaur as well. Has the stomp ready, and hello, down to about half health. They just barely have the damage to bring him down. He is going to spin the Dragon Tail. Fly might end up dropping 1 for 1, but here comes Demon. Demon there, and bigger splitter with Demon to help clean things up with the right click. And Fnatic going absolutely berserk here in this second game, fighting for their D2L lives and fighting effectively.
Shadow Fiend has his Daedalus and 1,700 gold on top of that. He is over double the net worth of Loda at this point.
And taking a look at the items now, you know, before we do anything else, it's worth talking about. You know, you mentioned before you were surprised why most people wouldn't draft a Shadow Fiend into a Dragon Knight. Well, if you take a look at poor S4, he's 0-7-3. I'd say you've got a little bit of evidence to go with your argument.
Yep, and they have also blocked the opponent's Ancient spawn too. And Demon is just farming their stack. He doesn't even care. He shouldn't.
He's pretty large.
Large and in charge.
Hitting for about 300 damage with the Daedalus and Lifesteal. Demon has an Illusion Rune because that's fair. And going to absolute work. This Tier 2 is officially a shambles.
Dire's bottom tower
they're ready to push through the Tier 3, and why wouldn't you? AUI once again with his ult off cooldown, has the mech up, and here we go. Acid spray down, looking to knot this series. Let's see if Alliance is going to be able to hold. Visage has the Scepter up, biggest item we've seen picked up for Alliance in quite some time. EGM, and Bulldog trying to hold down the flank, but just way too much to deal with. Demon continuing to just go to work, and S4 can't get close. Demon pops his BKB. Atos is there, and almost able to get him, but the ulti. Nope. Not enough. No tail. There to get the job done behind it. EGM caught with one more unstable concoction. Loda will infest into EGM. They managed to take away the Aegis, but really, this doesn't matter that much as Demon is just continuing to go berserk. Now up to 7-1 as he cleaned up the back of the fight. There's a set of racks down, and this game might be reaching its conclusion.
Yep, that was, I mean, wasn't the Aegis supposed to expire on them?
Yeah, I was thinking
Oh,
it did, actually.
it should have just expired. Anyways, Fnatic can just wait for the next Roshan, just wait for the next item on Shadow Fiend too. He has Satanic in 150 gold, and then, I mean, at this point, how do you kill him?
Yep.
And at the same time, if you beat on him, you have to worry about all the minus armor from Elder Titan and Alchemist, and that's a GG. Very well played by Demon and the rest of Fnatic. Their support play in mid lane too was very phenomenal. They just were constantly pressuring him. They were also constantly pressuring Admiral Bulldog on bottom too, so it's not like they only focused on S4.
You knew they had it in them. Knew beyond any shadow of a doubt.
They didn't do it with the Meepo though, so.
Yeah, it doesn't really count, right?
Swagger Fiend.
25 minutes and 3 seconds of time it took. And honestly, what can you say? Fnatic has struggled so much. And just not only bouncing back to win and force a game 3, but doing so with some swag. I'm sure Jimmy would appreciate that sentiment. And taking a look, I mean, is there any question? Demon finishing 7-1 and 8. 202 last hits in a game that only lasted 25 minutes. He finished with a 763 GPM paired with 647 XP per minute. And when you, I mean, I think the argument's made, my friend. Dragon Knight, Shadow Fiend, yeah, pick a Shadow Fiend into a DK.
Yeah, Shadow Fiend worked ridiculously well in that lineup. I think what set it up, though, was the Alchemist's first pick. Do you see how much work No-Tail did around the map? He was constantly around there. He had that early medallion for just insane amounts of minus armor. You have Natural Order, you have Presence of the Dark Lord, you have Acid Spray, you have Medallion of Courage. That's 4 sources of minus armor, and he just melted people.
A lot of early movement, a lot of early action, and yeah, Demon playing Demon Dota. We'll find out if they can repeat their success and bounce Alliance out in what many would consider about as big an upset as you could see in this tournament, or will Alliance hold fast and give Fnatic -2 +2 more to bounce out themselves? I'm EC, that's Merlini. We'll be right back for our final match of today on the HyperX D2L. Stick with us.